Aloha, Richard Halverson here. This is ITS128. It's November 23rd. And let me share my screen. All right, so syllabus, we are somewhere around here. Modules. Anyway, so let's see where we left off. Chapter labs 18.8.17 is the last one I did, it looks like. So let's go see what that is. So we got a lot of a lot of labs. All right, so let me start some of them for you to get you going. Let's see. 817 was the last one I did. So let's see what 818 is. Middle item. All right. Given a sorted list of integers, output the middle integer. Assume the number of integers is always odd. All right, they make it so easy for you. All right. So might as well do a REPL. And I will copy this. Put it on top. And oh, type your code here. Okay, so we're going to read in that and output the maximum number of inputs for any test case should not exceed 9. All right. So I'm going to read in the list. Let's see. Input. Oh, it's a sorted list of integers. Wow. Sorted list equals input. Enter list. And string. And then I'm going to sneeze. And then I want to split that into actual tokens. Let's use that term, tokens. Tokens equals sorted list string split on a space. And then I'm going to make sure, and I'm going to make sure the number of the number is less, the number's got to be odd, and it's got to be less than 10. So if I'm going to say tokens, len tokens is greater than 9, then I'm going to print error. Too many numbers, whatever. And then I'm going to do, can I just like exit? Can you just exit a, can I just exit a, let's see, I'm not going to do it. Elif, the len of tokens is mod 2. Okay, so if the length of the number of tokens is if mod 2 is 0, then that means it's even, which is not right. So it's got to be divisible. It's got to be mod 2 has got to equal 1 to make sure that it's odd. So if it's 0, if we take the length of this tokens list, and we take the mod 2 of the length, and if it's equal to 0, then that means it's an even number, and that means it has to be an odd number. Print error. Must number of integers must be even, odd, and you can spell it correctly if you want to. Sorry about that. Okay. Else, and now I can just proceed, and I'm gonna oh, I just have to print out the middle one. So the middle one is middle index is going to equal to the len tokens integer divided by 2, I believe. And so I'm going to print I'm going to print the middle index. And but you don't want to print the middle index. You want to print the actual you want to use the middle index as an index into the tokens array, and that's what you want to print. Okay, so but I just want to print the middle index because if there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the middle index should be 0, 1, 2. So this should be 2. With this input, it should output 2 because that's the middle index. Now the assignment is to print the number at the middle index. So you have to do that, but I just want to make sure the index is correct. If the index is correct, then printing the token at that index is a simple thing. So let me just see what this looks like when I run it. Enter list. I'm going to do 2, 3, 4, 8, 11. Okay, 2. That is the middle index. 0, 1, 2. So if I were to print the 0, 1, 2 index of this array, it would be correct. Now, you also, sooner or later, you're going to have to come up with test cases. Really, when you write programs, you should, after you clearly understand what the program is supposed to do, you should learn how to develop test cases so you can confirm that your program works. And so we need when you're creating test cases, you should try to test like all the cases. And so one way of ensuring that is you run test cases through where each time when you're all done running all the test cases, you've tested each branch. Okay, so here we should test if the number of tokens is greater than 9 and less than 9. And in this case, it's less than 9, so we know that worked. But if we try one that's greater than 9, let's see if it prints out an error message. It should print out an error message. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6. It's not sorted, but I don't think we have to. We don't have to declare an error if it's not sorted. We do have to declare an error if it's got too many inputs. So let's see what happens here. Too many numbers. Oh, when it got to here, it didn't have this should not be indented. This should be not indented, because if it passed through any of these, then it's not, the middle index is not going to be a value. Now, I guess we could initialize a middle index as something, but let's just this way it should work. Let's run this again. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's okay. Too many numbers done. Okay, now let's also try an even number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an even number. Oh, number of integers must be odd. Okay. All right, so I think you have enough to do this problem here. Do you think you have enough to do this problem?
I think it's good.
All right,
I'll do the rest. Thank you.
very good. Okay, what's next? Elements in a range. Okay. Write a program that gets a list of integers from input. That list is followed by 2 or more integers representing lower and upper bounds of a range. Your program should output all integers from the list that are within that range. Okay, so first you input this, and then you input this. Okay, so this first input is a bunch of integers, and the second input defines a range, inclusive. So all the integers between 0 and 50, including 0 and including 50, should be printed out. The program should output those. And when we look at this list here, we see that 25 should be printed, 51 should not be printed because it's not in this range. 0 should be printed because it's in this range, and 200 should not, and 33 should. So that's why we see these 3 there. And when we develop test cases for this, it looks like we do test this threshold of 0, but we also should test the threshold of 50. Make sure try it out with a list that includes 50 to confirm that that's included in the list too. Now these test cases, of course, for these programs are quite simple, but you can imagine if you're developing a great big huge program and you've got a bunch of if statements in there and paths can go all kinds of different ways, it is a good idea to come up with a set of test cases. And maybe it's not you, maybe it's somebody that's helping you generate all these test cases, and then an easy way to run them, and that's how you test and confirm your program works. Statistically, they say when you're writing a program from start to finish, 40% of the time you spend designing your program, 20% of the time you actually spend writing your program, and the other remaining 40% is you spend testing your program. So just testing the test cases that they provide you, this textbook is good because it actually gives you test cases. But in a lot of courses like this, we don't give you test. You have to come up with your own test cases. So anyway, so let's see what this is. Let's write this program. I'm going to call this one elements in a range. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to here, 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 and here. And let me copy this over just so I know what's going on. Okay, first it's got to get a list of inputs. So I'm going to say list of integers string. Just going to put that there, equals input. Enter list of integers. And then I'm going to convert that list of integers into a list of, I'm going to convert the single string into an array of strings. Tokens equals list of integer strings dot split. And then I'm going to convert them into an actual list of integers. And I think I will not use the, you can use complications or whatever those are called, but I'm not going to do that because Python's the only language that does that. And so I'm going to go for for all the tokes. For each toke in tokens. Oh, let me create an array. List of integers. So that's just a list for each toke in tokens. Integer number equals int of toke. And then I want to append list of integers. Append. Yeah, I gotta do this. Append, I have to put it into a list. Integer number. Okay, so that's gonna create the list of integers. And so now I've got my list of integers. And that means, but so I need to then I got to read. I should read this. So I'm going to read that. Bounds. I'm going to call it bounds string equals input enter bounds. So I got the bounds in here and I got to get the lower and the upper. So I'm going to do does this work? Lower, upper equals bounds string split. Print lower upper. I got to see if this works. Okay, so I'm going to see if this works. I'm just going to run and see if it works. 25, 50, 0, 200, whatever. That's enough. Enter the bounds. I'm going to say 0 space 50, whatever. Okay, it did work, I think. So it did print up lower and upper. So this works. I can split those two and into an upper and a lower. And now those have to be those. Now I have to treat these as numbers. So I'm just gonna put an S here, and I'm gonna put an S here because it's a string, just to indicate it's a string. And I should do that for this too, because that's what. Oh no, actually I don't have to print anymore. Okay, so then I'm gonna say lower equals int of lower S. And I'm going to say upper equals int of upper S. Okay, so now I've converted those into actual numbers. And now comes the part where we just print out what's in there. And so what you need to do is loop through, and I'm not going to finish this for you, but I'm going to start it for you. For all the integers, and I'm going to call it integer. I can call it that. In the list of integers, which is this, in list of integers, colon, and then you got to do something. If I'm gonna I'm just going to do this. If true, print integer. Okay. Now, what you have to do is you have to figure out what this is. You have to figure out what that is. And what you do is you test to see if the integer is in the range. So you test, it's probably a compound if statement. If the integer is, and you got to use these because these are the actual integer numbers. These are strings. You don't want to use the strings. You want to use the numbers themselves. And what you're going to do is you test if integer is, it's got to be greater than or equal to lower, and it's got to be less than or equal to upper. And then if that's true, then you print it. All right. Does that help?
I'll work on it a little more.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, something we can work on Saturday if you want to do more.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so let's go on. Okay, for word frequencies. Have we these? It's like we've seen these before, but in different forms. So with this one is we're gonna read a list of words, and then we're gonna go through and we're gonna output each word and how many times it appears in the list. So the way we can do it is first we read in the words, and then we can use the in function. We can test if a word is in the list. So if word is in list, then, well, we got to add them up. No, we don't have to add them up. We can just count them. There must be there's a count function, isn't there, in Python, right? Python count items in count occurrences in list. Can I count the occurrences of a list item? Yeah, you can. Look at how many said that's the right answer. Okay, so I can just do it that way. So I have the list, and then I do dot count of whatever you want to count in there, and it'll output the count value, the number. So we want to count the number of ones in this list, and look, there's 3 of them, so that's why the 3 printed out here. So that's the function we will use. Okay. So let's make a new, might as well make a new REPL here. I'm going to call it this, copy, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here, and teams, and 128, and create this, and it's a Python program. That's the name of it. Remember, you go to this URL here. I'm going to copy that URL, and I'm going to bring up some unknown no-name browser here. Called Opera. Let me set up here. I got to go up to this screen. Go to this screen. And I paste the URL right there, replic.com at ITS128/ and press enter. And here are all of the REPLs that we're working on here. See? So you can come back here and you can check this out. You don't have to copy it when you're watching this video or anything. I just wanted to point that out to you. I think I can go like this. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. So I got something to look at. Quote, 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 enter, paste, quote. All right. Okay, reads a list of words. Okay, first of all, I'm going to read the list of words. And first of all, I'm going to read a string that's got the words in it, and I'm going to split it into a list that's got individual words, a list of individual words. So string of words equals input words, whatever. And then I'm gonna split it into a list of words. So list of words equals string of words split on the space, which is the default. So I don't know why. I just don't know why whenever I hit enter, it deletes it. I put a space. Okay, so that's done. And so and then I go, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to read a word. Oh, I got to do every word. I got to do every word. Oh, and look, because there's two highs, high get high. You count high twice. It's kind of silly. You shouldn't need to do that. But in this problem, we do that. So we're going to go through all the list of words, and each time we're going to count, and we're going to write it out. Okay. So how do you go through all the list of words? Well, you do for word in list of words. Okay. And then you're going to count up the list of words. You have the list of words. You take this here. I'm going to put this. I'm going to take this here. I'm going to copy it, and I'll put it here. Now, why did I do this? This is the list, and so that's just an explicit list. We want to put this in place of this. Okay, so we actually put the name of the list in place of this list, and we're going to count. So that's what that's there for. And what are we counting? Well, we're counting up the number of words. We're counting up the number of times this is in this. So for this, we put this, and for this, we put this, and that gives us the number of words. So I'm just going to say right here, num occurrences, however you spell occurrences, equals, and you got to put this here, and you got to put the right thing here. Okay. So now we have the number of occurrences, and now we're just going to print out just like this. Where's my mouse? We got to print first. So we just go one at a time. We print them down the line here. So we just say, print, and then you're going to print the word, and then you're going to print the number. So you're going to print the word, which is this, comma, and then the number, which is this. And that should be it. So that's how I would do that one. So think about that a little bit and try out some stuff, try printing some stuff, and see what comes. All right. So let's try the next one. A contact list is a place where you can store a specific contact with other associated information. Write a program that first takes in word pairs that consist of a name and a phone number. The list is followed by a name and your program. Oh, I see. So first you input a list, looks like that. And then it's going to ask you for a name, and then you're supposed to print out the corresponding phone number. Okay, so this sounds like a dictionary. Okay, not a problem. All right, so let's start this out. I'm going to copy this over here. Copy. Create another one of these real quick. Okay. So first we're going to read this, and it's going to go into a dictionary. So how do we create a blank dictionary? We'll create a blank dictionary. Dictionaries. What is this? Oh, use the curlies, right? Use the curlies. Doesn't show here, but this is what I was looking for. To initialize a dictionary, use the curlies. Okay, so I'm going to do contact list equals that. That's the starting of the dictionary. So so then I want to read this. Let's say string contacts string. I'm going to say contacts input equals input enter name, phone number, pairs. Enter name, phone, pairs. That should be enough of a clue. Boy, this development thing is not perfect. So now I have my whole list of contacts, and I got to split them up. Now, so when I split these up, it's going to be like, this is token. I'm going to split them up into tokens as usual. This is going to be token 0. This is going to be token 1. This is going to be token 2. This is going to be token 3, token 4, token 5. So it's pairs. And and it alternates 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's do split. Tokens equals contacts input split space. There. Delete. Okay, now I'm gonna loop through them, and I'm gonna loop through them with a stride. For loop with a stride, or every other one. Okay, so for, so it's going to be the list. So it's going to be for, and I'm going to use an index, I for index, in range of contacts tokens with a stride of 2. How do I do that? Does this work? No, that doesn't work, does it? Okay, I got to do start, stop, step. Okay, so I'm going to do start is 0. Stop is the length, len of tokens. Oh, it should have been len tokens. Anyway, what I had before was not right. From here to there, a stride of 2. The for loop. And I'm gonna just print these out to make sure I'm doing it right. So I'm gonna do print, and I is an index. So I'm gonna print tokens of I followed by tokens of I plus 1. Okay. So so it's gonna go 0, 2, 4, 6, right? Because we're doing a stride of 2. So it's gonna go, this is gonna be 0 and then 1, and then it's gonna come back around again, 2, 3, come back around 4, 5, and then we should be done with this list. So I'm just gonna try this to see if it works. Run. And I want to see that this prints out like that. Is there some better way that I can get this to start every time? Because I notice I got to stop. Can I, what's control enter? Control enter? Oh, connected. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Joe 555-1212, Fred 555-1234, Mary 555-9876. Enter, and I should get Joe. Okay, so this works, right? This is the 0th one. Did 3 of them. This thing looped 3 times. The first time I was 0, and the second time I was 2, and the third time I was 4. And it printed out the I and then the one right after it. So now we've now we've got the 2 things, but we're creating a dictionary. So this is simply, and what's the dictionary called? Oh, it's called contact list. So contact list of tokens of I equals tokens of I plus 1. This is too confusing. This is too confusing. This is too confusing. Forget this. I'm going to make this a comment. Okay, that's a shortcut way of doing it. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to say the key value. No, the key. I'm going to say dictionary key is equal to token 1, tokens of I, and the dictionary value is equal to tokens of I plus 1. Okay, now I got my dictionary key and my dictionary value. This is the dictionary key and this is dictionary value. Dictionary key, dictionary value. See, so that's what that is. So I'm going to, instead of printing this like this, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, just to make sure that we know what we're doing here, I'm going to print dictionary key and dictionary value. Okay, now we have the key and the value, and when I run this, it should do the same thing. What does it? There we go. So this and this is printing the key and the value. And so to insert a key value pair into a dictionary, you just do, contact list of the key goes in here, key equals the value. Okay, now this is an error because this is not called key, it's called dict key, and this is not called value, it's called dict value. But basically this is the general form of how you put a key value pair into a contact list or into a dictionary. This is the dictionary, and so you can just fix this, and then you've got the dictionary. So this is how you build the dictionary. And then what you have to do after this works, then you have to read in this value. So it could be and what are we going to call it? We'll call it I'm going to call it looking for key. I'm going to call it looking for key. How's that for a name? Looking for key, the key that we're looking for, is equal to an input. And what I'm asking for is enter name. Just enter the name and it'll return the number. Okay. Enter the name and it's going to return the number. Okay, so we have that, and then all we got to do, so we have the key, so now we're just going to print the dictionary value for looking for key. So we print contact list of looking for key. Okay, so this declares a new list, a new dictionary. It's empty. This asks for the list. This splits it up into tokens. This loops through and builds the dictionary, except for this is wrong and this is wrong. You fix that. So once this loop is done, then contact list is a dictionary that's filled with these three names. In this case, three names. You put more names or less names. And then here we're just asking for what a value is for that. We're asking for a key or a key or a key or some key that's not in there. You should take care of that case too. Key not found or something. There should be, what does it say when there's an error? It doesn't say what you have to do when there's an error. And so this just asks for the name, and then this is how you print out the value. This is where how you print out the value of whatever that is. So if this is, in theory, if you enter in a Joe, then up here, when Joe came along, you entered in this phone number for Joe. And so this is going to output the phone number for whatever this is, which if we entered in Joe would be phone number of Joe. So I think you should be able to fix this up to get it to work. All right. Let's do another one. So write a program that replaces words in a sentence. Okay, so we're gonna first of all, we're gonna read in a bunch of words followed by their replacements. So it's another dictionary problem. The key is gonna be the word that we're looking for, and then the value is gonna be what we're gonna replace that word with. So in this case, we're gonna replace all of the instances of automobile, we're going to replace that with car, and all the instances of manufacturer, we'll replace it with maker, and children and kids. So this is going to become car, this is going to become maker, this is going to become kids, this is going to become car. Yeah, just like that. So doesn't look too difficult. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to read in this list. We're going to create a dictionary, and for this particular case, it would be a dictionary with 3 entries. The key values would be automobile, manufacturer, children, and the values would be car, maker, and kids. And then once we read that in, we have our dictionary ready, then we're going to read in this whole sentence, and we're going to loop through one word at a time, and each time, for each word, we're going to test to see if that word is in our dictionary. And if the word is in the dictionary as the key, then it's going to replace it with what the value is. Now, it's interesting that they have car here already. So, you know, one error that you may have is that you replace car with automobile. Well, that'd be wrong. The key and the value are 2 different things. The key is the thing you're searching for, and value is what you get if you find what you're searching for. That's how a dictionary works. So let's create a new Replit. this and this. Autoplay block. Oh, that's interesting. I'll get rid of this. And I'm going to, might as well paste this in there so I know what I'm doing. Copy. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read in the words to replace. And so I'm going to call it the replacement dictionary. How's that? Declare it replacement. I'm going to call it replacements. Sounds like a singing group. Replacements equals a dictionary. Okay. Now I'm going to read up those replacements. So first I'm going to read this thing here. So I'm going to say input string equals input, enter replacement pairs. How's that? And then I'm going to split it up into tokens. Tokens equals input string dot split. And then I'm going to loop through, and just like before, I'm going to use a stride and loop through pairs. And the first one is going to be the key, and the second one is going to be the value that goes in the key. So I'll do for tokes, toke in tokens. Dictionary key is equal to toke. Oh, it's got to be, I got to index. I got to index through this. Wrong. I got to index through this. Oh, and I got to do the stride thing. Ugh. I'm going to use I for index in arrange from 0 to the length of tokens with a stride of 2. There we go. From 0 to the length of tokens with a stride of 2. The dictionary key then is tokens. Wait a second, is this tokens? There's no toke. There's no toke. Tokens. Tokens of I, and dictionary value is equal to tokens of I plus 1. And so now I got the two things, and I'm going to say replacements of dictionary key is equal to the dictionary value that I just grabbed. Okay. So now I got my dictionary all filled up. And in fact, I'm going to print it out just to see what it looks like. That's a nice dictionary to print out. And let's just see what this looks like right now. Control Enter. Oh, I didn't enter anything in. That's why. So it printed out my printed out an empty dictionary. I'm going to run it again. Now let's do some pairs here. I'll do these pairs. Okay. Automobile. Why is there a big space? I wonder if this is going to work. Look at how big those, look at how many spaces there are. I got to see if this works. It worked. Even though there was more than one space in here, it took it as one space. Guess that makes sense. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to replace auto with car. I'm testing by putting in a whole bunch of spaces. And I'm going to say manufacturer with maker. And then children with kids. Okay, it does. Okay, so even though you're throwing a whole bunch of spaces in there, it assumes you just meant one. Okay, that's good. So anyway, so this is the dictionary, and it looks like the dictionary is there. So so this is the key, and this is the value. This is the key, this is the value, this is the key, and this is the value. It's not quite like this, but you get the idea. Okay, so now we have our replacements dictionary, and now we got to read in this whole thing here. And so let's read that in. And I'm going to call it a input string again. Why not? I can use the same name. I'm done using the old name, so I can use it over again. Equals input. And this time I'm going to ask for enter a sentence to update, whatever. Enter a sentence. So now I got this sentence called input string. And now I'm going to split it up into tokens again. And now I can go, then I can do 4 tokens and go through 1 token at a time. So let me go, I got to split it up. Tokens equals input string split on the space. And then I'm going to do 4 token in tokens. And I go one at a time. Okay, so I think I'll stop here. And you got to test to see if token is in the dictionary. So I can do that. If I'll do that for you. If token is in replacements. Now I'm just going to see if this works. So I'm going to say print print token will be replaced by wait a minute, this is wrong. No, that's right. Oh, how do I test if something is in a dictionary? Oh, I think I'm doing this wrong. What time is it? Okay. Python test if element in dictionary. See dictionary. Can I do a does this work? Oh, it will work. Okay, so I can do that if key is in dictionary. And how do I print what the key value is? I want to loop through loop Python loop dictionary. How to iterate through a dictionary. For key and dic, how to print the key. How do I get both of them? There's a way to get both of them. I know. Oh, wait. Oh, of course. Oh, that's easy. Never mind. Replaced by replacements of token. Okay. So I'm going to search through. Okay, this is the sentence. Okay, this is the sentence that comes in. These are all the words of the sentence in order. And I loop through each word. And if that word is in the dictionary, then instead of printing that out, I want to print this out. Okay, if the word is not in the dictionary, I'm going to print this out just because that's the next word. But if the word is in the dictionary, instead of printing this, I'm going to print this. So I'm going to run this to see if it's catching the right words. It should only catch, this, and it should catch this, and it should catch this, and so on. So let's run this. I'm going to put this in here. Okay, so I'm going to run it. What did I not do? Oh, what's that if doing up there? Somehow that got up there. Ah! Sorry, this should not be up there. That's what caused my error. I don't know how I must have been typing. All right, let's try this again. Run. Okay, enter replacement pairs. Does this work? No. Does this work? There's my replacement words. Then I'm going to enter the sentence, and let me enter this sentence. Copy. Paste. Okay, this is the sentence. So what should output now is it should find automobile and it should print out. Oh, okay, let's just run this and see. Okay, so what printed out was automobile will be replaced by car. And that would be automobile replaced by car. Manufacturer will be replaced by maker. Children replaced by kids, and automobile replaced by car. And in fact, I'm going to be even fancier, and I'm going to say if tokens is in replacement, then do that. Otherwise, else just print token. Fingers in my place. Okay, so now you can actually see all the words in order. The first thing I want to put in there is this. And then the next thing I want to put in there is this sentence. Oh, no, this sentence. What happened? Here. So now we get to see the automobile manufacturer recommends car seats for children if the automobile doesn't already have one. See, that's a sentence. The automobile manufacturer, but here we see that on this line we say it's going to be replaced by car maker, and so we see that we have everything that we need to make the program work, and so you can sort of put this together into the solution. All right, that's 8.22. And so we have a few more, and we can, I'll probably do an extra session next time because we have quite a few more to get through here. I might actually do some recordings outside of class to make sure you have what you need to know to do these problems. So how does that sound?
Thank you so much. You have a nice Thanksgiving.
Okay, you too, and see you Saturday.
See you Saturday.
All right.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Thanks for watching.